The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you've tuned in. And as always, brought to you by Liuna, Labor Local 663, Building, Missouri, and presented by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC. We go to Mansfield High School. Actually, Mansfield, Missouri, home of the Lions, and longtime head coach and Lions legend, Gary Greene down at Mansfield. And Coach Greene, I know you're not unfamiliar to the Missouri Sports Network, but I appreciate you coming on today with us.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
Coach, some news, just breaking news here within the last 24 hours, but you have accepted the position as the varsity head girls basketball coach at Fair Grove. Kind of tell us how that came about and what led you to that position.
Well, retired from Mansfield here after 28 years, and retirement means you're supposed to not do anything, but I can't just sit around and not do anything. And so got a call yesterday from Fair Grove, and they have an opening. As you know, Jenny went over to Nixa, and they're obviously a well-known program in the area, what they did last year. And of course we had a front row seat to that. So that was just an opportunity. I knew I would probably coach again someday. I just didn't know when or where. And it's one of those deals you can't really take the coach out of you when you got it in you. And it's something I really enjoy doing. And, to get an opportunity to go over to a place like Fair Grove, where they're obviously very talented, and just try not to screw that up. So pretty excited.
Yeah. And how much? Obviously, you spent a lot of time last year looking at them on film. You played them 2 times last year, including a quarterfinal game up in Central Missouri. Knowing what they had come back, how much of a role did that play? Knowing that 9 of the 10 are coming back.
Well, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a big part of it. I mean, talent is not. You just don't see that kind of a group. It's just rare. I mean, in Southwest Missouri, we've seen it before with teams like, a few years back, Stockton had a run where they had a group like that, and then Crane, and of course Stratford's been on a run like that for a while, and Licking, some of those places, and so Fair Grove's kind of moved into that type of a program where from high school down through their young ages, they seem to be, well stocked. And so, sure, that has something to do with it. But I think just the right situation, the right timing has more to do with it than that. But it's certainly a big part of it.
After you get that call, what's your process? Obviously, probably talking to family. Hey, this is an opportunity. What was that like, and who did you lean on maybe, to get some advice on whether or not to do that?
Well, mainly just my wife. She's the one that has to give me the go ahead to leave the house these days. So just had to talk to her and get her okay to go back into that type of lifestyle. And I think she's excited. She knows the world of a coach's wife, and she says she's not a sports person, but she sure seems to get wrapped up sometimes in the game. So I think she's more of one than she lets on.
And tell us a little bit about, are you going to be teaching anything? Are you moving? What's kind of what's next year going to look like when school starts here around the corner?
Well, I mean, as you know, this just happened yesterday, so we haven't really talked about anything like I'm not going to be teaching full time. No, there's Missouri's system doesn't allow you to do that unless you can identify as a critical needs shortage or something like that. And so you have to monitor your hours that you work when you're in the retirement system. And but I'm probably will do some substitute teaching. There is no limit on that, and so it'll allow me to get in the school and meet the community of folks over there. And so there's some things that a guy could do to get involved. So I'm looking forward to that. I may see if Tim Leeper needs help on the lawnmowers over there in Fairgrove.
There you go. There you go. And it's not a great distance from your house, so it's not a huge commute.
No, I play a lot of golf in Marshfield. I'm a member over there at the golf course over there. So it's about, I think, 12 or 13 miles from Marshfield. So I've driven farther, I can tell you. I drove to Licking for 8 years, so it's a little closer than that.
What about scheduling? And I know, being a coach, you've probably looked at Fairgrove's schedule, and is Mansfield on that schedule next year?
No, we actually I dropped them because we were going to be kind of in a transition year here, and I didn't think it would be good for either school to play next year. But I've looked at it. Damon Seeger's the athletic director over there, and he let me know that they're still a couple of games short. So I think they had some folks, readjust their schedule, and I went through that at Mansfield too. We had some people that, when we were good, folks tend to, want to play somebody else maybe, and so we had to schedule some higher class schools to fill out our schedule, and so I think he's looking at something like that. But I mean, yeah, I'm excited to play, so I don't care who we play.
Well, you're entering into a very good conference on women's basketball side with the likes of Skyline and you Stratford and teams of that such. And obviously you've had opportunities at Mansfield to see them and play against them. But, that's got to be exciting too, to kind of enter into a very good women's basketball conference.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah, so far.
I didn't know that. No, I mean, it's, the Summit, I thought was one of the best small school conferences around, both boys and girls. It was just really competitive. And I think the Mid-Lakes, is it still the Mid-Lakes? Is that what it's?
As far as I know, it's still the Mid-Lakes.
I was at Stratford way back in my career years ago, and it was the Mid-Lakes. And so, yeah, I mean, it's legit. But, I'll be honest, I don't like, I never have liked those games that you would go into and you just thought, well, let's just hope we don't get somebody hurt. I mean, to me, that's the fun of coaching, is when every night you get done with the game and then you have to turn right around and go, okay, who we got Thursday, because it's somebody that could beat you. So I that's the part of coaching that I really enjoy, is that idea that you have to bring it every night. And so I actually enjoy that part of it.
I know this only happened yesterday, but in this 24 hours, have you that, because it's out now. I mean, folks now that have heard, who was maybe the first person that reached out to you?
Let me look. Let's see here. Well, to be honest with you, a guy named Mike Denbo, who's a official, was, I think, the first text I got. And so he's an awesome guy. And I just told him, I said, hopefully I'll get another chance to yell at you this year over there. So there's been my phone's been buzzing. So a lot of folks are, I think, excited for me and some of my friends in the business. You talk to people and when you go through the highs and lows, and you've been somewhere as long as I was over here, we had some ups and downs, and we finished on a high, and but we were there they were there for the low time, the tough times too. And guys like Shane Chadwell or Norwood have been great friends of mine, and heard from him this morning, and just folks that are in the arena of coaching they understand when you go to a program like this, everybody understands the opportunities that are there. And I just hope to not mess it up, so just go over and do the best I can and try to build relationships with these kids.
Well, you've got obviously Fairgrove hosts their own tournament, which is always daunting as you look at the teams that participate in that, with the likes of West Plains. I know has come up and won it in recent years. Fairgrove may have won it a year ago. But then you got the pink and white tournament over Christmas. That's always kind of a big event. Are there any things that you're looking forward to that maybe you haven't had the ability or the chance to be a part of in the past?
Well, I think the two that you mentioned, those are obviously the pink and white's a great tournament. And I really enjoy that holiday time. I just think there's so much. I don't know if there's another place in this area, the state, where there's more basketball going on over Christmas than there is here. And it's just that's something I thought about when I retire, was what am I going to do over the holidays now? And I really enjoy the high school basketball scene. And I know we're ironically in the Nixa tournament, which is where Jenny went. And so that'll be fun. But, I think just seeing different people and different rivalries. I got a text this morning from Steve Sanders, Steve was at Hartville for years. And, of course, the Mansfield-Hartville rivalry is a good one, and a lot of good friends and folks over there that we compete against for years. And Steve actually is at Skyline now, as I think he's an assistant to Kevin up there. And he sent me a text this morning and said something about just couldn't stay away from each other. And so that was fun. So getting to be a part of new rivalries and build new relationships with some of those folks that you've talked to from afar. I've actually never played Skyline, so I'm looking forward to seeing them on a regular basis.
Very good. Again, visiting with new Fairgrove's head girls basketball coach, Gary Greene. And Coach, I know it's been a whirlwind for you, but we appreciate you making some time here on the Missouri Sports Network. And I know we'll get to visit, throughout the season, obviously, and get some of your team on. But congratulations on the new job. And I know you do a tremendous job. And again, we look forward to visiting with you.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And like I said, I hope we get to talk to you some. That means we're doing things right.
You bet. You bet. Gary Greene, ladies and gentlemen, Fairgrove girls basketball new head coach. And you're listening to and watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in.